Today, the head of the World Trade Organization warned a steep decline in global trade volume is coming due to President Trump's sweeping tariffs. But the president promises his policies will lead to a boon for U.S. manufacturing and increased revenue. For tonight's interview, Scott Lincicome, vice president of the Cato Institute's Trade Policy Center, joins us to discuss. Scott, let's start there with what the president claims for the tariff policy. Near as I can tell, it's a manufacturing renaissance, money to clear up the budget picture, national security, and maybe a few other things. Are these at odds with each other?
They are. The reality is that to raise a lot of money and pay for tax cuts, you need a lot of imports if you're using tariffs, because you don't collect tariffs unless you have imports. The problem is that if you have a lot of imports, you're not protecting domestic industry because there's still a lot of import competition. And then finally, if you're tariffs on and tariffs off because of all of these negotiations that are supposedly going on, you're not raising much revenue or protecting industry or getting new investment in the United States because of all the uncertainty.
And if it's just a negotiating tool, you're not raising revenue to help with the deficit. What's your view of the way it's been rolled out in terms of, even if by its stated goal, how has the rollout helped or hurt with that?
Well, it's really hurt because I think even folks that like tariffs have said that all of the uncertainty that's baked into what we've seen over the last 3 months, tariffs with Canada and Mexico, then they're exempted, but only for certain products, then the China tariffs, and then the reciprocal tariffs, the auto tariffs, and all these other things. This makes it just impossible for businesses to plan, to invest, to hire, makes it hard for them to negotiate longer term contracts. And all of that, regardless of how you think about tariffs, all of that uncertainty is going to depress economic activity. Last time around, during the first Trump administration, this type of uncertainty depressed business investment by around $20 to $40 billion. This time around, those same analysts say 3 times as much uncertainty in the market today.
Scott, if you could apply the time, attention, and effort to something else other than tariffs, what would be a wise economic move?
Well, there's a lot of policies that the United States government could pursue to boost American manufacturing. I mean, start with tax policy. Right now, large capital-intensive investments are actually get worse tax treatment than short-term investments. Immigration policy is a huge bottleneck for advanced manufacturing like semiconductors. Regulatory policy, it takes years to get the proper permits to even start on a large factory. And trade policy. Half of every import today are industrial inputs. You slap tariffs on those things, and you actually harm American manufacturers.